What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video we're taking a look at a brand new plugin from Sonnox called Voca. This is meant to be a very intuitive and easy to use vocal plugin for everyone from a beginner up to professional audio engineers and everyone in between. We have simple controls here for quick results, and it's focusing on compression, saturation, and removing harshness and S's. Now, in my August Pro Audio release roundup, I mentioned this as a release for the month, and I mentioned that I wasn't really that excited about it, but I was looking forward to checking it out. Well, here I have checked it out, and spoiler alert, I'm really impressed by this. So I'm going to go over the controls, and then of course I will let you hear what it sounds like. Starting on the left, we have input and output controls, and where things already get special with this is this auto button and optimize. So what auto is going to do is, as long as this is on, it's going to automatically adjust your input gain for the signal coming in, going to the compressor. Therefore, this is going to keep the compression more consistent throughout. And we have optimize. So what optimize is going to do, sometimes with your vocal, if it's very quiet or very loud, this auto isn't going to work for it, or the way it's set isn't going to work for it with the auto. So you'll see this optimize flash, and if that happens, then you click optimize, and then it's going to reset a reference for the auto, and then at that point you're good to go with the auto input gain. So if you see optimize flash, just go ahead and click it, and that's going to reset the auto and also change the headroom and all of that for your automatic input gain. All right, moving on to the compression and saturation. So this is like an XY pad slider. So we have two options with the compression. We have stabilize and we have squish. Stabilize at 0%, you're not doing any compression. So the more stabilize you add, the more compression you're adding. And you'll see that represented by this circle coming inwards. The more inwards or smaller you see it get, the more compression is happening. And then squish is going to be how fast and aggressive the compressor is. So I just kind of think at 0, you're probably looking at something slower, like think of an LA2A, and then the more you increase a squish, think something faster like an 1176. Not saying that those are the compressors that this is emulating, I'm just referring to fast and slow compression. So if you want a more fast, aggressive compression, increase the squish. If you want it more slow, keep the squish low. Moving over to saturation, we have saturate and focus. Saturate is obviously going to add saturation. Focus is going to add clarity. You can add more focus to add clarity. You can give it less focus to increase warmth. That's also the less focus that you give it, the more you're going to push the vocal back, and the more focus you give it, the more you're going to bring it forward in the mix. And then on the far right, we have soften, and the more you turn this up, the more you're going to remove harshness and S's, just cleaning up the vocal. Now, as far as the order of processing, I'm assuming just reading left to right, we're going compression, saturation, and then soften. I kind of feel like I would want soften before compression, just because normally I clean stuff up before I start compressing and saturating. So right away, I'd say it would be nice to be able to reorder this, if that is in fact the order that is going in. The manual doesn't say what the signal flow is for this. But lastly, we have a record mode, and if you click this and put this into record mode, it's going to give you 0 latency if you want to track through this. All right, so let's check this out. I've got a vocal here from a singer-songwriter named Roz Malone. And she plays saxophone and sings, so you'll hear the saxophone, but Voca is only on her vocal. It's the only thing that's on her vocal track. And we'll start with it. Let's just play it with it bypass, and then I'll bring it in, and we'll start to do some compression, saturation, and soften.
It made me put away my pride. So long, you made a show to wait for so long.
All right, so pretty good recorded vocal. I do want to hear some more clarity come through it, as well as brighten it up just a little bit. We'll see if the saturation will take care of that for us. Definitely, I'm going to play it back and let's listen for some parts, because this is definitely a vocal that definitely needs some compression. Let's listen to where we need some compression applied at. All right, so we've got a dynamic performance here. So this phrase needs compression.
You won't pay right.
Where it gets really loud there. And then this one where it's low.
No, but now it just don't feel right.
So we're going to look to smooth that out with compression. All right, so let's bring in Voca. And I've already got the auto on. And let's start with compression.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't pay right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right. Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't pay right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right.
Okay, that's really impressive. That was less than, I don't know, 10 seconds of down. Where I'm about 50-50 on each one. So let's listen to that. So we had this phrase. Let's bypass it. We heard it was really loud on the end.
You won't pay right.
And with Voca,
You won't pay right.
it's leveled. And then this phrase, we had this really quiet part in the middle.
You won't use it, no, but now it just don't feel right.
And with Voca,
Use it, no, but now it just don't feel right.
all right, definitely pulling it forward and leveling out this vocal. On this back half, there's definitely some parts there as well that needed compression, but we'll get to that. Let's listen to this with, let's do no squish and just see how this compression behavior acts. We'll keep it at about 50% on the stabilize. So again, what we're doing with that is we've got 50%, more stabilized, more compression. We're just going to leave that in the middle. And then we're doing just no squish at all, which should make for a slower compression.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't pay right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right.
And I said slower compression. Maybe slower is not the right term for it. Maybe it's just a cleaner compression. But let's now take it to 100% squish, keeping 50% on the stabilize for the compression.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't pay right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right.
Okay, so there's definitely a character change there, and I really can't put my finger on it or even say how I feel about it. Let me go back to this definitely did feel cleaner with no squish.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't pay right. Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't pay right.
Okay, well, pun intended, it is squishing the vocal. I can hear it now. So with this squish at 100%, it's definitely, it's definitely squishing it. I can't even think of another term for it right now. It's definitely named appropriately. So yeah, let's back off. All right, let's go over to saturate now, and let's start. We'll slowly move this focus over to 100.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't pay right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right. It made me put away my pride.
All right, so that's subtle. We're going to start to add in some saturation now.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't pay right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right.
All right, 100% saturate. We definitely start to hear it distorting a little bit. But let me show you when I move it over here to this upper left, it really distorts in not a distortion that's unusable. I'll just play it and let you hear it.
Daylight, just don't feel right.
So definitely that's usable for an effect if that's what you're going for. But let's move this to something more suitable.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't play right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right. It made me put away my pride. So long, you made a shorty wait for so long. You make it hard for.
Okay, let's now let's back off because we can go negative 100 on the focus. So I'm gonna let you hear what that sounds like.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't play right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right. It made me put away my pride.
All right, so you can hear it moving the vocal back there. I think we're somewhere in here. I felt it was good. Let's do like 20% saturation and maybe 65% focus. Okay, let's move over to soften now. I'm going to turn this up so we can reduce some harshness and some of the S's. We'll move to this section.
So long, you made a shorty wait for so long. You make it hard for a girl like that to go on. I'm wishing I could make you mine, yeah. So long, you made a shorty wait for so long.
So we can see the harshness is dealing with the low end and the S's is dealing with the high end. Definitely starting to sound processed, or was sounding processed when I had it up to 100. So far in using this, I've been liking it at about 50%. So we'll leave it there for now. Now, let's do some A-B comparisons and just play this and bring Voca in and out and hear what it's doing. I can also tell that there's automatic makeup gain going on with the compression as well, which is nice as well.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't play right. I use it, no, but now it just don't feel right. It made me put away my pride. So long, you made a shorty wait for so long. You make it hard for a girl like that to go on. I'm wishing I could make you mine, yeah.
Okay, so really impressed with this, especially with the compression. The way that the compression behavior works is it pulls up those low parts as well as bring down the loud parts. And this is normally where I would typically need to use automation to handle this, but with this, it's, I don't hear any automation that I would need to do for this. This does a great job at leveling the vocal, bringing up the low parts and bringing down those loud parts. Saturation and focus is cool, but I'm more impressed with the behavior of the compressor. And just overall, I'm really impressed that I don't feel like I need to come behind this or after this with an EQ and clean stuff up and do more EQing to it. This gives me a pretty close to finish sounding vocal without any EQ here. And I guess we can say the harshness or the softened section is doing some EQing, but I'm really impressed with how this is not requiring me to do additional EQ to get this vocal where I want it. I mean, if I was mixing this, it's weird saying this, but this one plugin can handle so much, but yet it's so minimalistic in its use, which is just pretty crazy. So there's my thoughts on Sonnox Voca. The intro price for this is like $95 right now until October 11th, 2023, which is kind of a weird price to me, $95. Like, why not just go $99? On sale, I'd probably like to see this at like $49, maybe in 6 months to a year. But that's the intro price right now. Definitely comment and let me know what y'all think about this. There's a lot of plugins that's going for this quick, easy to use for vocals, and I definitely feel like this is one of the better ones out there. So definitely comment and let me know what y'all think of this. Of course, I will have a link in the description if y'all want to check this out and learn more about it or pick it up. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if y'all want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do.